What's up everyone, I'm Kenny Day. I am the Pro Athlete Manager for Fox Racing. Today we're going to talk about how to wash and maintain your helmet. So if a helmet comes in after a few laps, not dirty, I'll choose to just wipe it down, use a quick detailer, get a wet rag, and just wipe the thing down and keep it nice and dry. So to do that, personally, I use a quick detailer by Meguiar's, something I enjoy, does a good job. Sometimes you come off the track and you look like this, right? I'm gonna show you how to break this thing down and clean it properly. So first things first, take your cheek pads out. When washing it, especially with a hose or a pressure washer, don't wanna get your pads completely soaked. So when washing a real dirty helmet, I choose to use a light amount of water. Getting the entire helmet completely submerged in water is not a direction we want to go. We still want to keep the internals as dry as possible. So to do that, I have a light pressure washer. You could also use a hose. Using a full power pressure washer is not something I suggest. I lightly sprayed everything. Didn't get directly inside the helmet. Like I said, we want to keep the internals of the helmet as dry as possible when doing this. So using a light pressure washer, you can basically just hold the helmet down and do light sprays, just enough to get it off. Next step of the process after I've washed all the dirt off is to get this thing dry. So to do that, I'm going to use an air compressor, use an air hose, use this, spray in the vents, under the visor, all the little crevices of the helmet that you can get dry, do that with the air hose. Sometimes when you get done washing, the mouthpiece will still be caked with mud. We'll always use the air hose to try to get as much out as possible, but if it doesn't work and you need to get it cleaner, the new V3 RS has this removable mouthpiece. It's a great thing. You can take it out at this point, use your air hose, use the pressure washer, and blow all this stuff out. After I've taken the air compressor and blown out all the water from the crevices, sometimes there'll be some existing dirt. So I'll take my quick detailer from there, just get a light coat, and then I'll wipe it down. Just get everything real nice and clean. After I've wiped the helmet down, I'll install the mouthpiece. You're always gonna do the foam first. So pick the helmet up, put the foam in. You'll see it's gonna sit right in place where it needs to. Then the back of the mouthpiece, when applying this on, you'll see the track system that's around it. The track is going to sit in around the mouthpiece. After washing your helmet, you'll see if you're getting roosted, cheek pads, all these things will have dirt on them. Take your air hose, blow them out. Also works really well with the air hose. If they're still wet from your sweat, you can get most of the sweat out with the air hose. I do suggest taking your liners out at the end of the day, especially if it's been hot, sweaty, or muddy. You can toss all of the liners, cheek pads, everything in the washer with your gear. Just dry them on low heat. Reassembling the helmet, personally I like to just sit down, makes it easier. Put the helmet between your legs. You can start with the headliner, drop this in, do your snaps. As you're snapping the headliners in, you'll hear it. Good pop, that means you're good to go. After the headliner, I always do the chin straps. A lot easier to do before the cheek pads. Next is your cheek pads. Do this last. Real simple, easy snaps. Again, you'll hear the snap, you'll know you're good, but it doesn't hurt to just kind of pull the cheek pads back, make sure everything's snapped in. If you are running the eject system, you're gonna see the hoses sticking out the bottom. I personally use the straps that are on the back of the liners. I will run the air hose through these just for security. After I've completely assembled the helmet, put helmet liners back in, I'll take the time just to be sure. Check bolts. You'll need a flathead screwdriver. Just make sure they're snug. Don't want to go too tight on this. When you get your all new V3 RS and you open the bag, you'll see extra accessories that come in it. Visors, there's going to be foam that comes with it as well. Let's talk about it. First things first, this is going to clip onto the end of your visor. This one is used at the end of the day. The sun's coming down. If you have some shadows, this is a great thing. Could also be used if needed just to make your visor longer, maybe some roost protection, all those things. Real simple. Has lips on the end, goes on the end of the visor. Same with everything. You'll feel this stuff snap into place. Like so. There's one more at the end. Make sure that's the most important one. And then it's on. That's an easy one to put on, easy one to take off. Also in the bag, you'll see the long visor. This one specifically is used for mud. So if there's a crazy mud race that you want to race and you're going to need something to give you more extension to block the roost, this is a whole separate visor that you're going to put onto the helmet. So you'll take the existing visor off of the helmet, you'll screw this on using the existing screws, you'll put that on. Then this is a key component. It's going to make you a lot better at the end of the race. Your helmet won't be full of mud because this foam specifically is going to block any mud from sticking to the top. Ultimately, the whole point of it is to make your helmet lighter in a mud race. So this is what it looks like when it's all said and done. You put the mud visor on, take the foam, lay it on top. It does have an adhesive back. You'll just peel that off, stick the foam on. Totally a preference on how you want to do it. I personally like doing it on the visor, then placing it on.